Some channels will never get monetized on YouTube, and the single biggest reason for this is creator mindset. And let's start with those two numbers that hang like menacing clouds above your head from day one. 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time. Getting 1,000 people to press that red button 1,000 times is the equivalent of you putting on a performance in your local school gymnasium and having it filled to the rafters. On the other hand, 4,000 hours of watch time is 240,000 minutes. Or the equivalent of a single person watching your YouTube content continuously without any breaks for 166 days, or nearly half a year. And because those two numbers represent the financial holy grail of YouTube, so many creators start their channels with this mindset of monetizing their channel. And that from day one is a tough ask. That's because for the average YouTube channel, you're probably looking at day 365 or your first year to reach those two requirements to monetize your channel. And if you're looking so far into the distance, you're not looking at the here and now, trying to determine and find out whether or not you as a creator have a passion for video content and reaching out to an audience and building a relationship with them. I guarantee that the moment you switch your mindset to this philosophy and start to celebrate your first 10 subscribers, 25 subscribers, your first 100 hours, you will find YouTube so much more satisfying. So, mindset number one, forget about 1,000 subscribers. Forget about 4,000 hours of watch time, start making content. Of course, content should always be at the forefront of your mindset when you are a YouTube creator. But it's doubly, triply, quadruply more important. I don't even know if those are words, but it's super important to focus on content when you first start your channel because content leads to momentum. The hard truth is, the first videos you post on YouTube may not get 100 views. They may not even get 10 views. Your first 3 or 4 videos may not even generate 5 subscribers, unless you're inviting your friends and family, which you should probably do just to get over the 10 subscriber mark. But it sucks, right? It sucks not to be noticed on YouTube. It sucks that you're putting all of this hard work into your content and nobody's watching it. But here's the honest truth. Your first videos are likely to suck. But that's okay. It's fine to suck. It's fantastic to suck, actually. Everybody sucks at YouTube when they first start, including myself. I sucked royally at YouTube. And I'm going to stop using the word suck now because it just doesn't quite sound right coming out of my British voice. Everybody starts somewhere and everybody has to start somewhere. You don't learn how to drive, swim, or breathe by reading books or watching YouTube videos. You learn by doing, and that is YouTube. You work out how to improve your lighting, frame the camera better, present better in front of camera, and then piece all of that content together through the video editing process and upload into YouTube, including those all-important thumbnails. And you don't learn any of that by expecting, no, hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time just because you are on YouTube. Starting YouTube is your opportunity to enjoy YouTube. The more practice you have at it, the better you become, the more videos you publish, and slowly the momentum builds. Some of those videos will catch fire, some will turn into evergreen content, which always feeds you the numbers that you require for monetization. Yes, to begin with, it can be soul destroying to get hardly any views and any subscribers if you're thinking about that. But then, in 3 to 6 months, if you apply your mindset into improving your YouTube content, you'll have 2x, 4x, 10x those first few days. You'll be getting 10 or 20 subscribers a day, hundreds of views a day, thousands of views a week. It may feel like it takes forever to reach 10 subscribers, but then it takes a fraction of the time to reach 20 subscribers. The same for 100 subscribers. It seems so far in the distance, but once you get there, it takes no time at all to get to 200 subscribers. And again, if it's in the back of your mind, rather right in front of you, turning into a blinding, shining light, you will reach 1,000 subscribers within that first year, along with 4,000 hours of watch time. Now let's move on specifically to 4,000 hours of watch time, because a lot of people simply don't quite understand how this works. So YouTube officially phrased this requirement as 4,000 valid public watch hours in the last 12 months. But what does that actually mean? Let's take a look at a simple example to begin with. In half a year, this channel has hit 10,000 hours of watch time. That's more than enough, along with 6,500 subscribers, to qualify for monetization. Case closed, no problem. On the other hand, this channel, over the last 12 months, hasn't quite met the requirements. Now, for the subscriber count, this isn't a problem. There is no time restriction on this. It doesn't matter how long it takes, once you hit 1,000 subscribers, you're good. But for this channel, which is just shy of 4,000 hours of watch time, there might be some bumps in the road. Now, just to be crystal clear at this point, your watch time never resets. If in the first year you don't reach 4,000 hours, it doesn't reset to 0 and a new year begins. It just takes your watch time for the last rolling 12 months. The problem for this channel is that it's been unable to maintain its consistent momentum, and these big, seemingly viral chunks of watch time will expire over the next 12 months. And since we don't know how the channel may perform in the future, it may seem like your watch time requirements for monetization are actually going down. Admittedly, it is rare that you have these viral moments that you're not able to capitalize on. So just in case you're not aware of what you should be doing, when you have videos that do well on your channel, follow up with more similar content. A couple more things to remember. For those videos to count towards your watch time, they must be public on YouTube. So you can't unlist them, you shouldn't private them, and definitely don't delete them. And that includes live streams as well. And unfortunately, as of now, if somebody watches one of your videos through the YouTube Shorts player, none of that watch time counts. The easiest way to keep track of both of your requirements is to go to the monetization screen in the YouTube studio for your channel, where it will tell you exactly how many watch time hours and subscribers you have. And you can download the vidIQ Chrome extension, which will add a real-time stats bar to all areas of YouTube and show you your progress to 4,000 hours of watch time. It is free to download, so you might as well. The vast majority of channels never get to monetize their content because they never reach the YouTube Partner Program requirements. But at the same time, there are many channels who do meet those requirements but are not accepted into the YouTube Partner Program because their content doesn't align with YouTube's values. Now, broadly speaking, when I talk about YouTube's values, I'm referring to their community guidelines, which have evolved tremendously over the past 5 years. So if you've never done this before, now might be the time to check out YouTube's community guidelines to ensure that your content is broadly following those guidelines so that you don't have any problems when you reach monetization requirements. While a lot of YouTube is controlled and governed by automated systems, one key area which is still left up to humans is the YouTube monetization application process. A human being will sit and look at your channel and ensure that it does follow these guidelines. So if you have been cheating the system up until then, that's where you're going to fall foul of a human who can tell the difference between right and wrong. Or at least what YouTube decides is right and wrong. On top of this, you've also got to consider copyrighted content or reused material on YouTube. I think YouTube's ultimate desire is for every single creator to make original content that is valuable to their audiences. But unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. Because YouTube is so big and there's so many opportunities on a platform, there are many people out there who just want to exploit the system. I know that all of you as creators spend hours on your content, only to find when you're browsing through YouTube that you see some creator who's just ripping content off other creators or downloading TikTok videos and uploading it as their own content, and they're getting millions of views, profiting from other people's work. That is so infuriating. If you are, unfortunately, one of those unscrupulous creators, then I'm afraid you're watching the wrong video on the wrong channel. We can't help you. We are here to educate and inspire and empower creators to share their own passions, their own creativity, their own content. And we know there are no shortcuts to this. It is damn hard work, that is for sure. So again, if you are a smaller channel, possibly currently frustrated with your growth on YouTube, don't fall for those easy temptations which may give you those short-term boosts. But in the long term, YouTube, and I personally hope that you are found out as a content fraud. And let me stress here, I'm not trying to target those creators who perhaps don't quite understand fair use and the grey areas of copyright. I'm looking directly at the creators who simply steal other people's content and use it as their own, and they can't avoid content ID because it's, let's say, Instagram content or TikTok, you know what I mean, TikTok content. You know what? When it comes to monetization, and indeed the success or failure of a YouTube channel, it usually boils down to this: the creator's capacity to listen. One of the beautiful things about YouTube is that you, the creator, have 100% control of your destiny. You decide everything that happens on your channel, the content that you create, how you present it, how you pitch it to YouTube, and so on and so on. And you can choose to listen to whoever you want or ignore whoever you want and do exactly what you want to do. But here's the key thing: because you are 100% in control of your channel, you are 100% accountable for your actions. And usually, if somebody works in a vacuum without any help, advice, or influence from outside parties, then unfortunately, those people may fail or at least progress a lot more slowly in their desired outcomes. Now, I am not saying for one second that you should take what I say as YouTube gospel. I try my best not to come across as the de facto expert who must be listened to. In fact, I don't even consider myself an expert per se. What I am is a passionate YouTube educator with experience I want to share with you. And through my decades worth of time on a platform, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, tens of millions of views, I think I have value that is worth sharing. And a lot of you hopefully agree. However, if you decide not to take any of my advice and you become really successful on YouTube and do far better than anything that I have done here at vidIQ, then I applaud you, and I just hope that you can share your wisdom with fellow creators and inspire them to do what you've done on the platform. The creators I worry about most are those who say they do listen to us and other YouTube educators, but then their channel suggests otherwise. They'll say in comments that I've followed every single piece of advice that you've said on your videos, applied it to my channel, and it's made no difference. I'll visit their channel and I'll immediately see within 10 seconds that their thumbnails still aren't improving, or their channel focus is still all over the place. As I said earlier, you can listen to all of the advice in the world, but if you don't actually do something about it, then you'll never be able to learn, adapt, and improve. It's the same with YouTube data. You can choose to look at impressions, click-through rate, average view duration, views from subscribers, and everything else that YouTube and vidIQ has to offer you. But if you just look at it and don't actually determine a plan to address those potential issues on your channel, then you'll be stuck in this cycle of thinking that you deserve more from YouTube simply because you're making content. And then, of course, most importantly, your audience. Listen to your audience. Whether it's through comments or whether it's because certain videos get more views than others, you will get the data, the information, the influence you need from your audience over the first 3 to 6 months of your channel's life. And if you listen to your audience and give them more of what they value on your channel, then you'll start to see momentum. Then you'll start to see progress. Then you'll start to see those milestones hit. And ultimately, eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed, you will hit 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, apply for and be accepted into the YouTube Partner Program. And whilst you're on this journey, don't try to look for excuses that the YouTube system is against you. For example, YouTube recently announced that channels not yet in the YouTube Partner Program may see adverts on their content, meaning YouTube earns revenue from you when you can't earn a penny. Yes, in principle, that is, I'm going to use that word again, a little sucky, but let me simply ask you this. So what? Does this policy update exclude any creator from eventually monetizing their content when they're in the YouTube Partner Program? No. Does it prevent in any way, shape or form the progress to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time? No. And for every person who's whining and bitching and complaining and not getting any actual YouTube work done because of this YouTube policy update, there are many more who are getting on with the job. And I can prove it. I sent out a voting poll to our community to ask how these monetization updates may affect them as creators. And 2/3 of you said that they were now more determined to make a success of their YouTube channels and reach monetization. That right there, folks, is all the inspiration you should ever need. So yeah, there is a hard truth. Some creators will never be able to monetize their content. But I will say this, if you're listening to me right now, if you've made it through to the end of this video, I think you have a far greater chance of reaching that goal. Not just because you've watched this video, but it's because you're passionate and determined about being a success on YouTube. Because you put the time and effort into listening to what I have to say, but you also put the time and effort into the content that you make, and also paying attention to how you can become a better creator. Oh, and I also think you'll succeed because you just gave us 15 minutes of watch time. Thank you. I love you.